Early modern human fossils found in Europe, specifically associated with the Uluzzian cultural layer, were initially attributed to Neanderthals but are now recognized as belonging to Homo sapiens. These fossils, found at sites like Grotta-del-Cavallo in southern Italy, are dated to around 45,000 to 43,000 years ago. In the consulted source, these Homo sapiens are considered part of the Uluzzian cultural layer, but we found in publications the presence of Aurignacian-Culture in a much larger context, area, and period of 47,000 to 41,000 years ago. We deduce this is about one and the same group. There is little chance of two groups of modern humans occupying the same area, especially so early on. This means that for us early modern humans that do not present archaic traits are the same as Homo sapiens. Nowhere in literature a difference is proven, certainly not so in Europe, between Homo sapiens and early modern humans that do not present archaic traits, and we consider them as one and the same. Making differences when these are not proven is confusing and hinders science and the writing of human history. This said, modern humans and Neanderthals lived very associated in time and space. If the Neanderthals really were free-roaming hunter-gatherers, they would have lived disassociated instead, and consequently further away from the Aurignacian culture and the northern Mediterranean coast with its polygonal works. For this and many other reasons we conclude that Neanderthals were deployed or worked for the present modern humans, dominantly in mining and secondarily in megafauna and mass food production handling. For this and many other reasons, for us of origin for existence, the presence of Neanderthals indicates the supervising or dominant presence of modern humans. This means that modern humans existed and were present, possibly in inferior numbers compared to the Neanderthals, for as long as the presence of Neanderthals is detected, which is at least 600,000 years. Human fossils that are considered modern humans, but presenting archaic traits like in the case of the fossils in Jebel-Irhoud, we do not consider modern humans, and archaic humans instead, with the latter simply because they are not amongst us modern humans today anymore. Despite this, we deduce that modern humans were present in Africa, this at least for 600,000 years, again simply because there were archaics for at least 600,000 years. Making differences when these are not proven is confusing and hinders science and the writing of human history. In this respect it is very misleading that consensus still claims that modern humans, or any eventual Homo sapiens for that matter, successfully and significantly interbred with Neanderthals. Among us modern humans there is no presence of Neanderthal DNA that is a consequence of interbreeding. The few fossils that consensus supposes to have been the result of interbreeding, including the Rani's fossils, like also Rani's 13, went extinct, and no DNA of them is carried by any modern human, not in Europe and not in any other place of the world. Further, there are several publications that prove that humans and Neanderthals did not successfully interbreed. All this said, it is a proven fact that modern humans and Neanderthals lived together extremely associated, this in time and in space. As also said, if the Neanderthals really were free-roaming hunter-gatherers, as consensus goes on assuming, they would have lived extreme-gy disassociated instead, and consequently further away from the Aurignacian culture and the northern Mediterranean coast with its polygonal works. For this and many other reasons we conclude that Neanderthals were deployed or worked for the present modern humans, dominantly in mining and secondarily in megafauna and mass food production and handling. For this and many other reasons, for us the presence of Neanderthals indicates the presence of modern humans, meaning that modern humans existed and were present, possibly in inferior numbers compared to the Neanderthals, for as long as the presence of Neanderthals is detected that is at least 600,000 years. Resuming, not for consensus but for us, modern humans lived in close range with Neanderthals for at least 600,000 years. The day that it would be proven that Homo erectus also is a sister group of modern humans, like the Neanderthals are, again not for consensus but for us, it would be proven that modern humans lived in close range with Neanderthals for at least 2 million years. Neanderthals and Homo erectus share quite some similarities, including the stocky chest. The stocky build of both Neanderthals and Homo erectus, particularly their wide chests, suggests they were likely very strong. Neanderthals, especially, are known for their robust skeletons, wide hips, and powerful limb proportions, which point to significant muscularity and strength. While Homo erectus was not quite as robust as Neanderthals, Their stocky build and ribcage structure also indicate a capacity for strength and powerful movements. Their wide, deep chests likely housed powerful respiratory systems, potentially supporting more strenuous physical activity. Why did the 2 million of years old Homo erectus resemble modern humans more than Neanderthals did, this while being a supposed ancestor already far over 1 million of years earlier than Neanderthals? Further, why were they not extremely associated with modern humans instead of or like the Neanderthals were? Why Neanderthals were so extremely built in function of strenuous physical activity, if they were not built for mining and megafauna handling, and close to 100% found in mining and megafauna handling environments, while also closely associated with modern humans, and not as hunter-gatherers, this especially so if they had been following prey over long distances. Sand people do follow prey over long distances, and they are not stocky at all, quite on the contrary. Why is the bulk of Neanderthal tools more in the function of mining and butchering of megafauna, especially when this megafauna is killed in masses, this when they were supposed to be roaming hunter-gatherers? Why were most or many of the Neanderthal tools produced in industrial environments, and found in mass in large quantities and in hidden so-called caches, this also with signals typical for modern humans, like the use of ochre to cover them up? Why is a famous deposit of stone tools in a cave, or rather mine, in Gibraltar not or very infrequently visited by Neanderthals? Further in the same line. A. Why was there hearth cooking in the same supposed Neanderthal cave in Gibraltar? This so for 8,000 years, when the cave was not or very infrequently visited by Neanderthals. B. Why was most or much or masses of their food produced in industrial environments, also close to megafauna kill sites if there had been no controllable herds, kind of like in the case of husbandry, of them nearby? And why are massive megalithic stone jars related to archaics found in mass in certain valleys all across the world? Also why are megafauna kill sites, as if they had been contained, so closely related to places with clear modern human presence, including in locations related to transoceanic voyages? There is too much confusion and negation of important facts for the general public to be able to properly understand human history, and specifically the archaics and their lifestyles.